Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at IsoEnergy. This was a stock analysis request from one of the followers, and I wanted to let you know that anyone can make these requests and I will most likely cover them, especially if there is an actionable trade setup to follow. And here on this chart I am tracking up a wave 1. Now this can be in 5 waves but only in a leading diagonal. Now that is perfectly fine and doesn't affect the further structure to the upside. And then we are looking at a correction here in a wave 2 for this wave 1, or to follow up this wave 1, and we did reach the area of support, so technically we fulfilled the minimum expectations for such a correction because we also have a 3-wave structure to the downside. And if we check, I already did, but if we check, we can see that we actually reached an ideal target for this supposed wave C. Could be a different correction, doesn't really matter, but yeah, the idea is this correction has everything fulfilled. Now that is not to say it cannot still follow lower. That is a risk and a possibility, especially until we form a clear 5-wave structure to the upside, which so far we have not. And yet here internally from this wave 2 bottom, I do have some options in terms of what I can be tracking to the upside. Now first, I do have a pretty simple ABC structure that I could see forming here, and in that case we could see even this correction extend in an ABC movement that could allow this wave 2 to reach even lower. Then we do also have the possibility to actually track this movement, this development, as an impulse. Now this is much more fragile, so I would be careful of any such interpretation, especially if we break the support zone that I will provide you in a moment. But yeah, first let's go through the waves, and here I am tracking in that idea to a 1-1-2-1-2 setup that has occurred in this area. Then we have another 1-2 here, and here in the shorter time frame, we should maybe get to the smaller time frame, we have a series of 1-2 setups that has developed in this area. And then here we have a wave 1 up, a wave 2 down, and here this is the 3rd wave to the upside. And it might look a little odd, but I can realistically count this as a 3-wave, or sorry, as an impulse, because I have a wave 1 up, a wave 2 down, a 1 2 3 4 5 within the wave 3, and then another 4 5 to count this entire structure as the 3rd wave to the upside. The RSI also supports this development. We do actually, if I remove some of these drawings, we may see some of these developments. But internally here, even the RSI does support such a structure being the 3rd wave to the upside, and I would even like to add a count here. And yeah, in this area here, the 3rd, possibly a 4th here, could be a 4th in the triangle. Multiple developments could be applied here. Now it doesn't matter exactly what kind of development it really is, but internally within this wave 3 we can track an impulse, and in that case I can look for further continuation in this impulse to the upside. Now for such a structure to still work out, we would need to hold the area of support for a follow-up wave 4. But before we get to that point, I would like to add here a wave 2 for the larger time frame, and here a smaller 1-2 setup. Now actually we also have this on the larger time frame. Maybe we should use an actual count here. So a 1 2, a 3rd, a 4th, and a 5th. And yeah, in this 3rd wave to the upside, I am looking for the 138.2% extension, which we have obviously already reached it, but that would be in the case of the impulse. If this is actually developing as the other option, where we have an A wave up, a B, or sorry, in a leading diagonal, not the other option in the correction, but in a leading diagonal, we could be tracking here an ABC structure, the same as in the A wave up, and then this would be a wave 1 down, then an ABC structure in the wave 2, all the same from the larger time frame, and then a 3rd wave up. In that case we would need to still reach the 138.2% extension at the $16.7 level to have any reliable movement that would be developing here to the upside in a leading diagonal. Otherwise I would really have to consider this movement, this type of the development as a different structure. For example, if we break directly down, yeah, it could be a WXY, but if we fall back lower and then push and manage to get to that level, doesn't really matter, because this would have failed to be a third wave to the upside, and yeah, it could be overall a larger A wave, and then we get a wave B and a C wave up. Could work out, but we need to be very careful of such developments, and we need to keep track of the proportions of the larger waves to make sense to actually work out within this structure. Now, as I was saying, we do have a series of 1-2 setups in this area, but I'm not going to track all of them in a very direct fashion. I would prefer, to keep it overall more simple, and instead only keep this here as a smaller degree and have the larger degree where I look at 1, 2, a third wave up, and now a fourth wave correction, where I would be looking for support here in the area. Let's see, this is for a wave 4, so between the $14.5 level all the way down to the $13.3 level. And yeah, as long as we hold the 50% retracement, we can track direct continuation to the upside within this impulse. Now, even if we form this next fifth wave, I would not consider this movement complete. I would still be looking for further extensions. And yeah, that is actually a good sign, because even in a different type of movement, even if it isn't a third wave developing here and something like an ABC or even a WXY, we could still get a few more highs in this area. So it remains with a decent amount of probability to still form higher highs, as long as we hold the area of support, the 50% retracement, the $13.3 level. And for now, there really isn't much else to add. We need to do further updates once, yes, the price structure has further developed. But for now, these are the levels. This is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.